dudes, listen up. You need to do this or you're chancing your financial future on a coin toss. So if there is one thing that I could have done uh, to improve my financial journey and my entrepreneurial career, I started doing side hustles sometime. 2014 is when I really started my first, my first business attempt, my first startup, and I kind of launched that. It was a little software startup project that I did. But since then, I was always doing some kind of side hustle or the other. I was always doing my own, even when I held a full-time job, even when I was employed, formally in a job or some kind of gigs or whatever I was doing. But I was pretty much always either launching startups or launching e-commerce, drop shipping, info product attempts, all kinds of side hustles and startups and businesses. But if I could have done something a little bit different, I would actually have done all that even sooner. I wouldn't have started this when I began that 2014, I think it was. I would have started it like 2009. I'd have been just a teenager still, but I think that's something that I would do because seeing the picture of what I have now seen and experienced, what I have learned is that uh, if you're a man, your path to financial independence is really gonna be more tied to what you do outside of your job rather than necessarily the job itself, because the job is something that can go away, right? Like in my own experience, I've been laid off a whole bunch of times in the workplace, whether in the corporate workplace, in the freelance workplace, or in jobs, different kinds of jobs that I've done. And it's just something that I've experienced and something that's shown me that there really is a big difference between a job and the side hustle that you do, because with a side hustle you have ownership. So if you build up a little e-commerce store and you can build it up to a certain level of revenue, that's security that you don't have necessarily with a job, because a job has a different kind of security. Like you get a guaranteed paycheck, you get a guaranteed um, a guaranteed salary for the work that you're doing, as long as you turn up every day. uh, but really long term, it's not gonna make you rich, right? Like it's unlikely that long term just working a job is gonna make you rich. So it's got that security of like a salary, but the upside is kept. The upside is not nearly that high. Whereas with the side hustle, you get a lot of downside, you get a lot of risk. You're not guaranteed to make money. But even in my side hustles, right, like where I've been tinkering on things, didn't make much money in a whole bunch of them. But what I got away from that was I came away with a whole lot of skills. I came away with, like, whether it was creating a product, whether it was designing a product. And that's not necessarily something that, I would just want to use like on a job. It's a skill that now when I do my next side hustle, I know how to do this product even better. So like product is not going to be where I fail. And in other side hustles, even the other ones that I failed, but maybe I learned something different, like how to sell. I had to actually learn sales as part of some of the projects that I did for myself, doing my own side hustle thing, learning about business, educating myself. So sales is another skill I learned along the way. Along the way, I picked up the skill of marketing, and I got to really know how to market a product, how to get a product to sell. Uh, and so in the course of a side hustle, whether you even make money or not, you're gonna come away with something. So the payoff there is much bigger than you might even imagine, because now if you take all that and you put it together into a side hustle that happens to work out well, now the upside is no longer kept like it would be in a job, because in a job, there's only so high you can go up in the hierarchy, right? You can't be promoted above people that are way senior than yourself, right? You gotta be aware of that. Um, but also you have the downside that a job can be taken away from you at any time. Um, the company can go under, or the team can get laid off, or you just individually, you alone might get laid off. So there's all kinds of situations that go on. So as a man, you can't be relying on a job to watch out for your financial future. And this is why, like I mentioned, if I could do something different about my side hustles and my working life, I would actually have jumped into side hustles even sooner. uh, just because I understand I would have gone through a lot more of those failed side hustles even earlier. They're not bad for you, they're actually really good for you. One of the ways that we all learn in side hustle land is those early failures. Those early failures is what really makes you and equips you for long-term success. The lessons that you learn in those failures are what are gonna make you. They're gonna teach you things. They're gonna equip you to build much bigger and much better things. So the sooner you can start on your side hustle journey, I would say the more successful you're gonna be. And the more that you're gonna fail and try and fail and try again and fail and still keep trying again, just the sooner you're gonna crack the code, and the sooner you're gonna get to the other side where you really have it together and you can actually build a really successful side hustle. So that's what you gotta do, guys, is start building your side hustle, and don't look necessarily to your job for financial independence, because it's not really equipped for that, right? It's not really built for financial independence. Just think about it. If your company that you work for was in the business of making every employee financially independent, a lot of employees would get to the financial independence point in the career ladder, and then the next day they would hand in their resignation and tell the boss, "Hey, I quit. you know, I'm out of here because I never liked it anyway. I'm out." So uh, that would be a very hard and challenging business model for your company to run and keep operating. Um, so they're really not in the business of churning out financially independent employees, because they fear that it will just work against their own interests, because then they would have to hire new people every year, train new people every year, and that takes a lot of work, that takes a lot of investment as well. So if you want financial independence, you're gonna need to do it yourself, and that's where you need to start your own product side hustle. Now, if you need some resources to help you with your journey, you can grab some of my free resources. The links will be in the description.